Shalom and welcome to another lesson in the series, The People of Israel, Striving for Leadership. Today we will study chapter 16 of the book of Judges, Perek Tetzayin, Sefer Shoftim, the final chapter dealing with Shimshon, Samson. Vayelech Shimshon Azata. This chapter describes Shimshon going to Azza, the big capital, the big city of the Philistines, not to a small little city, Timnah, going to the main point of the Philistines. His mission is coming to an end. His mission is coming close to an end. Vayelech Shimshon Azata. The word Azza has been mentioned already in Shimshon's riddle, when he says to the people in chapter 14, where he says, Min ha'ochel yatsa ma'achal ume'az yatsa matok. Az, something strong. Az, something which represents somebody who's getting up without any respect. Azza, the people of Philistines are in Azza, raising themselves against the people of Israel, raising themselves against Hashem. He goes to Azza. And there he meets the prostitute. Which brings us back to the very beginning of the conquering of the land of Israel. In Joshua chapter 2, where the spies meet this prostitute, sitting at the entrance of the city. Here we have Shimshon at the gates of the city. Vayervulo kol halayla. They're trying to trap him. They're trying to catch him, exactly like the representatives of the king of Jericho in chapter 2 of the book of Joshua. Shimshon is here, wanting to reconquer the land for the people of Israel. Vayehi b'chatzi halayla. In this verse, and it was in the middle of the night. I'm talking about verse 3. Vayakom b'chatzi halayla. And Shimshon sleeps until midnight, and he arose at midnight. This verse brings us back to the exodus of the people of Israel from Egypt. Vayehi b'chatzi halayla. And it was in the middle of the night, deep in the darkness. Somebody wakes up. Somebody is calling in the name of Hashem. And he takes the doors, the doorposts. This brings us back to the exodus of the people of Israel from Egypt, where they mark the doorpost, the entrance of the house, to represent the connection to God. Shimshon brings us back. He wants freedom to the people of Israel. Chatzi halayla, the middle of the night, the doorposts. Freedom. He picks up the doorposts and he brings them up to the mountain facing Hebron, trying to remind us of the king who will finally defeat the Philistines, King David, who begins his leadership at Hebron. Shimshon only begins fighting the Philistines. Here he is connecting the exodus from Egypt, the beginning of the conquering of the land, Jericho, to King David. And that's the story that we begin here. But then we have the story, the famous story of Shimshon and Delilah. How is this very strong man, Shimshon, give away his secret to this woman, Delilah? Sometimes people tell me, when you ask a woman, the answer is very simple. The biggest of generals on the lap of his female lover, she'll be able to, and she'll get anything she wants. In a way, true. Shimshon, the greatest of leaders, has been defeated by the heart of sweetness, the heart of women. And he gives away his secret. Of course, though, in this chapter it seems it's happening 1, 2, 3, and he doesn't learn his lesson, but apparently it took a long time. It took a while till she finally got the secret. But he gave away the secret. What is that secret? The secret that Shimshon gives away is his hair. Nezir Elohim Yehanar. When Shimshon is born, before he is born, his mother gets the message from the angel of God, your son will be a Nazir. In Nathers. In Hebrew, the word Nazir has two meanings. It comes from Nazir, lehazir, to keep away from wine, to keep away from drinking. But it also comes from Nezer, a crown. Like the high priest, the Kohen Gadol, Nezer Elohim al Rosho. He's wearing the crown of God. Shimshon's hair is not just hair. It is the crown of Hashem. And he gives away the crown of Hashem. He there gets to a point, he has lost his total energy. He understands that it's not his energy. He's here in the name of Hashem. But he gets to a point where he can't take it anymore. He wants to die. ויהי כי הציקה לו בדבריה כל הימים ותאלצהו ותקצר נפשו למות. Verse 16, it came after she had pestered him every day with her words and pressed him. He became exasperated to death. And he gave away his secret from the bottom of his heart. Yes, Shimshon, who's trying to wake up the people of Israel, calling for initiative, calling for leadership, the final judge who was supposed to bring leadership to the people of Israel, and the disappointment is so great. God gave him strength. God gave him superficial strength, supernatural strength, artificial strength. But he has to use it for the sake of Hashem. Once his crown is removed, he turns back to normal. He is nothing any special. Though, when his hair begins to grow again, Vayehi ki echel ro litzmoach, as the verse says in verse 22, the hair of his head began to grow again. He is once again connected to Hashem. He is once again receiving and understanding where his strength is from and what his mission is in the world. And at that point, sometimes when a person gets to the lowest of low, when a person gets to the point where he has totally lost hope, this is where he can find Hashem. And at this point, he gets energy from inside. Direct connection to Hashem. Connecting himself to Hashem, saying to Hashem, here I am to serve you. At this point, he can win, he can beat, he can defeat all the Philistines. He gets all the strength, because the strength is not something coming from above, it's coming from inside. Connecting himself sincerely, praying to Hashem, Zochreinina, Vechazkeinina, Hapam, God, remember me, give me my last chance. In verse 28, God, Vayikra Shimshon El Adonai. Shimshon calls out to Hashem. He then grabs the two central pillars which supported the building, and he's connected to the pillars that are supporting him. He's connected to Hashem. His hair is beginning to grow, and he will finally be able to defeat the Philistines. Defeating the Philistines will not be able to come only from a blessing from God, but from inside, when he reaches the conclusion that he has to call out to Hashem and connect himself to Hashem. The story of Shimshon is a very sad story, though it gives hope. He begins to defeat the Philistines. We see their cruelty. They take out his eyes. They bring him to all the people to tease him. But when he gets to that lowest point, he connects to Hashem directly. From the lowest point, he's connecting himself sincerely from inside to Hashem. At that point, Hashem gives him the biggest strength he ever had. So in this chapter, we go from the weakest of weakness, where he gives away his secret, to the sweetness of a woman, till he gets to the greatest of great, where he finds God inside himself, connecting himself and reconnecting himself to the people, to Hashem, and saving the people of Israel for 20 years. Shalom.